Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the video. As you can see, I'm just trying to stay warm. It is definitely the coldest day we've had here in December in Tennessee by far. But anyhow, I'm using the downtime as I have a lot going on with work right now and my business with planning and taxes going into the end of the year. Toward the end of December and into the beginning of January is always a pretty hectic time for me. But the downtime is good because that also gives my body a time to heal up and prepare for the next year. Doesn't mean I won't put any more treasure hunting out this year, just not as many videos as I normally do. So anyway, as far as everything is concerned with me, everything is going great. I've been racking my brain and really trying to figure out which exercises work for me and which ones are aggravating the issues. And I found out for me right now, one of the best things I could be doing is working on chest exercises. So I guess that's helping to put my posture back where it needs to be from doing a lot of computer work and repetitious metal detecting and things like that. So doing push-ups is really helping me right now build my chest and kind of balance out my muscles. So I am jamming the push-ups right now, and I guess by the end of the year I'm gonna look like Hulk. Okay, not really, but anyhow, I just wanted to let you all know that I'm doing really well right now. As far as the video you are about to watch, this was something I really wanted to do. Earlier this year, I did that hunt the second time I was at a location where I was digging out a property where there were just tons of old coins, and to this day I still don't know why they were all there. If there was just tons of traffic through this yard like it was the neighborhood hangout, I have no idea, but I have never seen anything like it before in my life. On this residential property that's only maybe like a quarter of an acre, there was a total of about 250 coins that were dug out of it, and I think the total was actually a little bit higher. There was no official count as it was split into multiple hunts, but 95% plus of the coins dated 1967 or older, so it was like a major time capsule. And I'm not sure what happened there. Like I said, if it was the neighborhood hangout or if these just people had money to burn and they were throwing it all over their yard, if there was a specific reason, I'm not 100% sure. But there were a lot of old toys and pieces of toys buried on the property, leading me to believe that these people probably had a lot of kids and also had a lot of other neighborhood kids over, and they just had a lot of coins to be thrown around and toys as well. That's my guess, but I'm not certain, since almost all of the coins stopped at 1967. I believe the people that used to live there moved out in 1967 or maybe very early in 1968. So the video that I'm posting is all of those hunts that I did earlier this year compacted into one video. And I say all of those hunts, but it was actually one day. I just filmed a lot, so it's over an hour long, and it shows in chronological order the entire process, and there's an extensive wrap-up in the end of this amazing, I don't know if you want to call it a hoard or a time capsule or what, but there were just tons of old coins on this property, and it was truly a joy and exciting to be able to dig all this out. So I hope you enjoy the video, and also I wanted to throw out there, I'm not posting all of my content now to this main channel. I have two more channels now, and I'm going to put links to them in the description and in the comments below. One I haven't uploaded to a while, but it is my spare channel that I'm going to be using a lot more, and the other one is for a very specific purpose, which I will explain below. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy this hour-plus video. It's a metal detectorist dream, and that's for sure, and I wanted to document it all in one video. So thanks everyone for watching, and enjoy. You're watching JD's Variety Channel. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to do something pretty cool today. I'm going to hunt the house that me and Rusty hunted and found 19 silver coins at. It was about a year and a half ago. And we both had mine labs. I think actually that might have been when my E-Track was in the shop. So I think we were both using CTXs, or he might have had the E-Track and I had the CTX. I can't really remember. But we both had high-end mine lab machines here. And we spent probably close to 4 hours in this lawn just cleaning it up as much as possible. But probably, like I said, 19 silver coins, probably the weeds out of this lawn. It was close to like 60. It was just insane, and there were old kids' toys everywhere. So I'm gonna hunt it today with the Technetics. I'm gonna work it really slow, take my time, not in a rush, and we'll see what we left behind. I know I'm gonna pull something, so let's get at it. Okay, first signal was just a piece of aluminum. Second signal, I can see it in the hole. It's a penny. It rang up in the high 70s. And it's a wheat penny. So we definitely left some stuff here. I know we hunted it hard, but I knew we had not found everything here. So let's work it slow with this T2. Hopefully we left a silver or maybe a gold ring. I'm hopeful. Okay, now this is weird. This is obviously something we didn't dig because it's iron, and the mine labs discriminate iron out a lot better than the Technetics, but I dig the big iron, and especially the round iron, because sometimes they can be buttons and things like that, but this was a screaming signal. And I'm not sure what it is. It looks like it's actually some sort of case that'll open, but I've never seen an iron makeup compact or anything like that. So I really don't know, but it's pretty heavy. So I'll have to take a look at that later, see if it's something I need to crack open. Huh. Maybe there's some coins in there, who knows? If you know what this is, comment below. Okay, I'm right by the property edge, so I'm not sure if we've come over this far. Literally this bush and that tree separate the neighbor's property, and I'm like right up against the end of it. And only about 2 inches down there. Second coin blasting signal, looks like a 1955D wheat penny maybe. That's awesome, but there's also another signal right next to it. I'll let you hear it. Kind of right around the nickel tone. Obviously could be shallow trash, but let's do it live while we were showing that penny. Because it definitely could be an old nickel. Okay, we're right there. And unfortunately this time it's just a piece of trash, but what is that? It says patented on it. It's actually a piece of something. I thought it was just going to be can slaw, but I'm not sure what that came off of, but interesting anyway. Well, that was a weird signal. A piece of a can and a nail stuck to each other in the same hole. Alrighty, working slow up around the side of the house. This one was a little deeper than the other ones. And we got another penny. And can we tell if it is a wheatie or not? Almost all the coins we dug out of here were old. And yep, that one's a wheatie. So sweet. Let's keep going. Okay, I want to show this. I'm working in an area that's a little hard to detect on the side of the yard. You can hear there's like pipes all over the place over here, but I've been working around the edges of it real carefully. And there's a tight signal. Ringing like anywhere between 84 and 88. So this could be a shallow silver coin, like a rosy. We'll do it live just in case, see if it's a silver coin that we missed. That would be nice. I'm already happy just finding a few of the old pennies. It's good to know we left some stuff here. And doesn't seem like it's going to be a coin. Just some sort of random square looking piece of metal. Huh. Well, I hope this was worth it because I just got dog crap all over my knee pads. But anyhow, in this hole right there, It's a coin spill. I just started pulling pennies out. I saw one of them. That one's a memorial from the 60s. And that one's another memorial, also high relief from the 60s. So let me set those there. But you can hear in the hole. There's still signals, so I'll keep digging them out. Maybe there's a silver in there too. If those are early 60s memorials, then could definitely be in that range to Papa Rosie. Okay, next coin, you can see it right there. Another penny, except it looks like that one's a wheat. So I'll set it there with the other ones. These were probably dropped in the early 60s. Okay, we'll keep digging them out. Next coin, you can see it right there on the bottom. Plop it out. Oh, I think I can see the date on that one. 1964, so that's a memorial. So 3 memorials and a wheat penny out of this hole so far. Let's check it again. Still a little chirping, might be one more coin in there. I'll check it out. You can see where it split off the dirt. There was another penny in the hole. That one's a Wheatie. It's a 1956. And there was another penny laying on top of the ground right next to where I had originally dug the hole. So I'm not sure if it's a coin I had knocked out and not noticed it. So I think it was another early memorial. So I got like 6 old pennies out of this hole so far. Pretty fun. Okay guys, the glove came off for this one. And I know we're going to be in for something fun, because I just dug a thunky signal that was around 72, which is really low, like in the pull tab range. And after I scoop some dirt out about 3 inches down, I see a Mercury Dime, and there is no way possible that that coin rang up that low. So this is definitely going to be a coin spill, or at least there'll be some trash in with this coin. Most likely to make the signal lower, there would be a nickel in the hole too, usually. But see what we can see on there. That's 1940 something. And we're going to check the hole again. That's why when you hit a place that has a lot of good targets, you dig all the signals, no matter how bad they sound, because they can be something good. Got the pinpointer on. And yep, there's still something right down in there where I pulled that Merc out from. So let's take it slow. And there it is. Still buried down in there. Get some of this out of the way. Put my finger on it right there. Looks to be a nickel. It's not a war nickel. It's going to be an old Jefferson though. Oh, actually, dirt's coming off pretty easy on this one, so I should be able to see the date here. It looks like 1959. So that's pretty cool. Mercury Dime from the 40s in the hole with a 1959 nickel. Normally you would expect that to be a Rosie, but yeah, around 1959 in the early 60s there definitely still were Mercury Dimes in circulation. So that's awesome. Let's check the hole again. I think that's it. I think it was a Mercury Dime and an old Jefferson. Sweet. Here's some proof that tons of kids were running around this yard back in the day. The first time we were here, man, I found like marbles in the holes. I found a monkey from the old Barrel of Monkeys game. Just all kinds of stuff. And now I just got the handle off of an old cap gun, and it's got the bowl on the base of it. You can see the horns running along the side. So that's pretty sweet. Let's keep searching. I'm skipping the pennies now. I mean, as far as filming them, because I'm still finding a lot of old pennies in here. Okay, and the gloves came off for this one. I got a real just bouncy tone, and I got some sort of watch. Oh, it looks old. Oh, man. Oh, this is beautiful. This might actually be something good, and not a junky one. Wow. Look at the design on that. That's crazy. I've never seen a wristwatch this nice, or at least dug one anyway. Let's see what it says on the back. Ooh, what do we have? Some numbers. What does that say there? 10K rolled. And then something. SULDVA plate. Huh. Oh, that's a beautiful piece. I'll clean it up a bit later. Amazing. Okay, quick update here. I just came back in the front yard. I was in the back. I was talking to the homeowner back there, so I didn't film this. And I got another bouncy tone, but this time it rang up in the mid-70s, slamming real hard. And as soon as I popped my plug, it was the same spill as the last one. Another Mercury Dime in the hole with another old Jefferson. And I think this Merc's 1942. I didn't clean up the nickel yet. So it's just crazy the amount of coin spills in this yard. This is the yard where I found my best coin spill ever. It was in the front over here. I found 4 silver dimes and a wheat penny in the same hole. So I mean, it's just, I can't believe how many coins are in this yard. It's just insane. Okay, I've still been mopping up tons of pennies, but I got a good find here. It rang up like one. This is one of the old coins from the Philippines. It's not one of the silver varieties like I found in the past. You can see the hole through it. It was worn as a pendant. This is probably right from around World War II. The most common ones of these are dated 1944. So that's awesome. I'll get it cleaned up and show it later. I still can't believe how many targets are in this permission, and it's so easy to dig too. I'm taking a little drink break. I just figured I'd give you all an update. Those are the coins I've dug so far. This is that funny little aluminum can that I found down by the river where somebody dug all those holes and left all their trash. I picked that up and forgot to throw it away, so now it turned into a coin cup. But man, I've already got about 30 coins or something around in there. I stopped filming the, the memorials and the wheat pennies, and even stopped filming the old Jefferson nickels. And the better stuff so far is the coin from the Philippines, the 2 Mercury dimes, and that amazing watch, which is a really good one. So, gonna take a tiny little break here, get a drink, and go back at it. There's still tons of targets out there. It's got a bouncy tone around 70, and just got some kind of pretty cool old button there. Nice. Alright, I knew there had to be one in this yard. I got a signal bouncing in the high 70s, and it's in the front of the lawn, kind of by the driveway where the ground's real soft and then some of the targets are deeper. I got a good 6 inches down, and I just pulled out a silver war nickel, 35% silver. You can see the yellow tint to it. Awesome. That rang up really high, so there may be more in there. I'll check, but sometimes they ring up funny. And while I have the camera on, I also found this key about a minute ago. Just pulled out a really nice looking 1959 nickel. Seems to be a lot from that year. I'm not sure why. I think I found 3 of them already today. That one was pretty shallow, and that's right where I got the war nickel. The reason the signal's funny is because there's a big piece of iron right next to it, or not huge, probably a nail or something, and about a foot over from it there was another wheat penny. So yeah, this yard is still just a blanket of targets, and that's why we could only cherry pick it last time we were here and not find everything. It's just, there's so many targets masked by every little thing that just stuff keeps popping out. It's crazy. I just got a little live bullet, and it's a pretty tiny one. I'm not sure what caliber that is, but it was right where they did some work with the pipes, right underneath all this slate. Man, there's just stuff in every little square inch of this yard. It's unbelievable. Right when I say there's something in every square inch of this yard, this is the same hole. You can see all the slate. I closed my plug back up and then scanned it, and I still had the original high signal I did, like 84, 85. I looked in my plug, and there's a penny in there. So I accidentally found the bullet first before I found my target. And that one's 1950 something wheat penny. Got my first modern spill out of here that sounded funky, because I think every coin I dug here today so far has been from the 60s or earlier, no newer clad. But those are the first modern coins of the hunt. Zinc penny and a clad quarter. I moseyed into the backyard again. I had a really nice signal here. I'll show it on the detector. Tone's dropping a little bit now that I got it out, but we'll do this live since I got the camera on. There it is. It's another penny. 1966. I'm now in the backyard crawling under the bamboo. You can see the fence to the end of the property is back there. And I'm assuming all this bamboo wasn't here when the house was built around 1940. Because there's coins the whole way back here. And I think that one's a wheat penny. So I'm going to get up under here as much as I can and bushwhack for some silvers. So this is why the signal sounded higher to me at first. It's a bamboo coin spill. There's still a signal in there. Let's get it. Come on. I'm literally touching it. I'll just use my finger. See where it's at. Oh, is that it? Yeah, I poked it out. Another wheat penny, probably. I'm just saying it's a wheat because the other one was. So I'm assuming that one is. Coin spill in the bamboo. Still more in the bamboo hole. Another penny. Come on, let's get a nickel or a dime. Still on my hands and knees, crawling under the bamboo. And I just found a, what looks to be, if it'll focus, a 1957 nickel. Sweet. Let's keep crawling under here. About another half hour in, there's all the interesting finds. And here's another small handful of the coins I found. We'll throw them into the can, and we're gonna keep hunting. Whew, this is tiring me out. So the arches in my feet were so tired from going up and down so much I had to switch to my boots because the arches don't bend in them, and it feels a lot better now. It's sprinkling out, but I'm hoping the rain holds off a bit longer. But I'll keep hunting even in a moderate rain for a little while. But I got another signal in the back here. First signal back out of my car. Got a wheat penny over here somewhere. Got a funky low tone and war nickel number 2. And you can kind of see the end of the date there. Looks like 1944. Very white and yellow. Looks like it's going to be a 1944. Is that a D or a P on the back there? 1944 D. Awesome. So 2 Mercs and 2 war nickels on the silver so far. Awesome. Couldn't ask for a better hunt. Well, this may have been some kind of weird spill. The signal was really funky. This flap here is where I found the war nickel, and right underneath it I still had a signal coming in around 70. And you can see it's gold colored. I'm not sure what it is though. It does say something on it. Can't read the whole thing. LY something. I don't know if this was a spill or if it just happened to be next to it, but it's some kind of old tag. Looks like it would have come off of some type of product or something. Oh, it's pretty neat. It was in the same hole as the war nickel. This is so crazy. I'm working in the trash section right by the back patio. And man, there's just so many targets, but a lot of them are good mixed in with the junk. I thought I had a silver coin signal here, and I went down in about 3 inches. Look at those coins. They're stacked on top of each other. There's so many. They all look like pennies, but good grief. I got a handful of 3 there. There's still one right here. This is unbelievable. That's a memorial. These are probably going to be from the 60s. Crazy. 1960. There it is. My famous 1959 first year issue. D-mint mark. Gee, I think that one's another 59. Can Can I see the memorial on the back? Yeah, memorial on the back, third digit's a 5, so that's another 1959. And what was the first one? First one's too muddy to tell. But let's see. I don't think there's more. They were literally just stacked on top of each other like that. Unreal. This is too funny. So I just dug this little end of a tube out of this hole, and I still had a signal down there that was high conductive. And I was digging and digging and digging around roots and everything until I realized this one wasn't a root. So be honest. Tell me if you thought that was a root. It's just a big piece of aluminum. 2 for the price of 1. In this hole, I flipped open my plug, and we got a golf ball. And down in the hole, I dug a few inches deeper, and it looks like another old penny. And that's what it is. That one's not a wheat though. 1961 memorial. So another half hour, another pile of goodies. Let's go take all the wheats and non-silver coins and old stuff and add them to the can, which is now almost full. Well, not almost full, but it's getting there. And add the war nickel over into the pile of the silvers and better stuff, along with the interesting relic bits. And we're gonna keep hunting. Gotta take my hoodie off, these boots are hot. So that'll help compensate for that. I've been working the inside of the strip by the landscaping. There's just pennies all through here. About where I'm sitting, I just dug a couple wheat pennies. Got a blasting signal here that I actually thought might be a $50. It was really blasting, but instead I opened up the hole and saw 2 pennies. Now there may even be more in there because that signal was pretty loud, so let's check it with the detector. Yeah, there's actually more still right in the clod here somewhere. Signal still sounds pretty good. Maybe it's a silver one. I didn't really look at the numbers on the machine. Oh, yeah, it's stacked. Oh my goodness. It's a nickel on top of a penny. Oh, it's a buffalo. It's crazy. It was stuck right to this penny. Unbelievable. I'm going to keep this bill separate, check all the dates of them. I think that was it. There's some iron in there. But awesome. I'll clean those up later. There was still signals. I had to widen the hole. And that's the original hole right there. And I had to open up this little flap. I just pulled another penny right there. You can still see where that buffalo came off down there. And another penny. So far this hole, I think it's 5 pennies and an old buffalo nickel. Let's see if the pinpointer registers more. Yeah, definitely is. There's something there. That might not be a coin though. Well, that's a nail in the hole with it. So a nail, 5 pennies, and a buff. Haven't found one of these in a while. One of the old screw type fuses. I guess they got mad when they blew out and chucked them in the backyard. Should have done this one live because I'm beat. I'm back close to the bamboo jungle again. Got a nice high signal. And look what I saw on my plug. You can see where it fell off. Mercury Dime. Looks like it's got a lot of detail on it too. I think that says 1942, but not positive. Sweet. Silver number 5 for the day. May have been a little spill area because I just got the Merc there. Had a couple signals right next to each other right here. So I popped 2 plugs. One here and one was like right here. And 2 more wheat pennies came out. Just took another drink break. Walking into the backyard now. Just wanted to show you guys something. It's unbelievable how many targets are here. I'm just digging all the smearing signals and everything because there's coins mixed in. Right, I dug a huge plug right there. I mean, it was massive. I dug it big because it rang in like a big thunky tone, like in the high 90s. I thought, hey, maybe it could be a silver $50. So I cut a huge plug, and it was 2 of these big aluminum things in the same hole. There were still signals around it, and I just dug a wheat penny like out of here, 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 and here, and still had a signal next to my big original plug and popped it. That's just how I saw it hanging off the edge. Another penny. It's just the amount of targets in here is insane. The more I keep going over it, it just keeps clearing more signals up. I thought I had another wheat penny right there, but it's an old crushed up, what looks to be a lipstick tube or something. It's got a little pattern on it. So something different other than a coin. All kinds of interesting stuff here. Alrighty, up here a little bit I have a mid-tone. It's got a dog turd right on top of it. I'll have to go back and dig it. But here we go, another nice signal. Down in there, I flicked it out of the side. It's silver number 6. And that is the first silver Roosevelt dime. Got 3 Mercs and 2 war nickels, and now a silver Rosie to go with them. This is the first Rosie of 2017. And you can kind of see the date there, 1952. Unreal. Now I gotta find that pile of dog crap again. So I had a good signal under these leaves by this little tree here, and I raked all the leaves back to just kind of get closer down to the signal, and there was dog crap in it. I wiped it all over my hands, and I get down to it, and it's not even a silver, but it is a 1958D wheat penny. So that was nasty. I'll fill the hole back in though. By the base of this tree on the side of the property, and more evidence of the kids that lived here. It's a tiny piece of aluminum play money. Most of these I find are from around the 1950s. Some of them actually have a date of 1953 on them I found before. And continuing that hole right there, I just dug another little tiny piece of a cap gun. That would be part of the cylinder. So pretty neat there. Went up about 1.5 yards. Had a bouncy tone bouncing between the high 50s and the mid 60s, but it was real solid. And I was telling myself, hopefully this one's a war nickel. I bet it is going to be. And believe it or not, I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's definitely got that white and yellow color and corroded a little green. It's another war nickel, the third one out of here. This one is 1943. It's cleaning up pretty good just for wiping it. The war nickels normally don't scratch when you rub them because they're only part silver. They usually look pretty ugly anyway when you dig them, most of the time. Yeah, I can't see the mint mark on top of there, but the 1943P is the most common one. So that's probably what it is. But sweet, I am so tired, but I'm not stopping. Okay, so this explains the funky tone on the war nickel. I pulled it right there, had a signal a few inches down, and found this piece of ferrous crap. Still a signal in the same hole. Rang up, shut up crows. Had a really good signal in the same hole after I pulled that out, and I jammed in with my shovel, and it's a silver, but I know I just like went dink with my shovel right off of it, so I hope I didn't scratch it too bad. So I guess this is going to be a silver diamond war nickel spill. Let's zoom in on this edge here. What do you think that looks like? I think it's a Merc. Go ahead and pop it. Hopefully I didn't scratch it too bad. Oh yeah, I did get it. I can see the slicing in a little bit. Yeah, it's a Merc. Oh boy. Oh, that's an old one too. Look at that. You can see right, you can see that little, where the dirt's missing running across this way. That's right where I just jammed it with the shovel. Oh, awful. Oh well, it happens. 1929. Beautiful. Let's keep swinging. Work in this area, and that's where the war nickel and the Merc just came from. Cleared a junk signal off the surface there. Just a little piece of foil. And it cleared up a deeper tone right here. And you can see, man, that was a deeper one. Little penny sticking out of there. So yeah, bunch of coins in this section. That one looks like 1941, I think. Had a pretty scratchy tone right down there. And 1956 nickel. Coins everywhere. I couldn't even tell you how many wheats I have now. Maybe getting close to 50. When you're in a once-of-a-lifetime yard this good, It is, the big thunky signals are like always the best ones because they're not always trash. I popped the plug and you can just see imprints where coins were just falling off everywhere. You can see penny, 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 and that's all I saw just when I popped the hole. Popped the plug, not the hole. So let me just harvest those wheat pennies. At least I think those are wheats. Could they really have all just surfaced at the same time and there's no more in there? I popped it right to where they were sitting on the back of the plug, so it's possible. Well, it seems at first glance that might have been it. But I will definitely check it again with the detector, see if there was more in there. Crazy. So I had another bouncy tone, and this may be another coin spill, I'm not sure, because it didn't sound quite this high. About 4 inches buried into my plug. It looks like another silver dime. It's a silver rosy, 1946. I think this is silver coin number 9. I lost track, so don't quote me on that one. But let's put that in the pouch, and I'll check this hole again, see if there's still another signal there. Remove the shovel. Yeah, there's at least some iron. Let me get this flipped back over here for a second. Yeah, there's more. It's still just a smear. It could be several coins. It's just weird. Like a high 70 signal, but real bouncy. Could be a couple pennies, maybe another silver in there. Who knows? Okay, so it wasn't coins. It was another one of those big pieces of aluminum, and then it was sitting right in there like that. And the silver came from here. That's why I'm clearing every piece of crap out of this yard. There's just so many coins. Any piece of junk can be masking something really good. And the pile continues. The silver so far, it's 4 Mercs, 2 Rosies, and 3 war nickels. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 silver coins so far. And a lot of the odd bits up there. This is the pile of coins from about the last hour since I showed the pile last. I'm getting some buttons and interesting low tones now too. Some sort of something there, and then like some sort of iron. Well, that actually probably isn't a button. An aluminum butter knife. I thought that was pretty weird. I don't think I've ever found an aluminum butter knife before. And just a whole mess of coins. We will add them to the can and keep going. I'm hurting now, but I ain't stopping. Oh, and by the way, there's the mound of trash so far. It's about 5 pounds worth. Okay, so I have the sensitivity cranked up really high on the T2 just to start chasing a lot of the more faint targets, and I got a super high signal here. Like 94, 95, like that's incredibly high. Now the thing is, with my sensitivity up this high, sometimes the steel bottle caps can sound this good. Very isolated. Shown about 3 inches. Just in case it is like a silver half or something really good, we'll do it live. But don't be disappointed if it's a steel bottle cap. Okay. Pretty shallow. That's probably what it is. Turn that pinpointer off. Actually, it is not a steel bottle cap. It's an old button. You can see the shank on it there. Must be aluminum, because man, that thing rang up high. Hey, well, better than a piece of trash. I thought it was going to be like a silver $50 though. No. By the front steps, this hole had 3 targets in it. It's pretty crazy. I got this little end, tiny little end of a bullet, little shell casing. This here, which I'm not sure what it is, it's really reflective. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a button or what. I'll have to clean that up. And there was also a wheat penny in the hole. 3 for the price of 1. Working around the edges of this leaf pile again, and I got a sketchy low tone, and it's a low tone spill. Those 2 nickels I pulled out were stuck together, because you can see how there's kind of like blue and green on the side of them from being preserved, and there's still signal down on the side. And I flipped another one out. Now, none of these look to be war nickels, but I'm not sure if they were dropped in the 60s or what. Let me rub some of them off and see what the dates are. I checked the dates. There's 2 1964s and a 1966, so probably dropped sometime in the late 60s. Pretty neat. The spill just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Popped 1 more nickel out of the hole, went into the side. These 2 pennies fell apart. They were stuck together. I assume these are going to be from the 60s as well. I think that one is 1964. And there definitely could be a wheat in this spill. But no, that one looks like a memorial too. Also high relief, so from the 60s. Man, huge 60s coin spill. So that's 4 nickels, 2 pennies, and while we're doing this live, let's turn the pointer off. Just run the detector over, see if it makes any noise. Okay, I think that's finally it. That was picking up my shovel. 6 coin spill from the 60s. Well, that's pretty odd. I ain't got a clue what that is. I was digging a few more coins by this patch out near the front of the road, and I got like a 60s memorial here, a wheat here. Still had a really high signal. I actually thought it was going to be a silver dime. You can see I like split the spill, because this is caked down in there, and then there's one on the plug. The one on the plug you can read says 1956, and this one here, we'll see what it is. It's another wheat penny, and we'll check with a pinpointer. I thought I saw an edge underneath that one, but I could be wrong. Well, not right there, but there might be another one underneath there. I'll fish around, see if I can find it. And that's why the signal is so crazy to start with. This was in the hole with it. Screwdriver. Crazy. So it's probably been about 20 minutes or so since I filmed. It's really slowing down, but I wasn't giving up. I just really wanted to hit that 10 silver mark. I got a signal hitting real hard out here where the sewer line is, and went down about 3 inches, and you can see it in there in the clod. It's a Mercury Dime. Silver number 10 for today. Looks like 1941. Unbelievable. I don't know what time I started hunting. I don't know, 11:30 or something, I have no idea. It's like 10 after 5 now. Whew. Poke around a couple more minutes. Getting ready to pack it in, just digging the really faint, sketchy, crappy low tones. You can see the imprint there. I got something really cool. It rang up right around 50, which is well below a nickel. It's very light. It's like a pendant, got a little castle on it. It's like a sword and an axe. Oh, that's pretty cool. Royce, New York. I found stuff with that marking before. Oh, that's neat. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm by the path that leads right up to the front steps, and I've been over this tons of times, but I dug this really thunky, weird low tone, and I see a piece of silver, but look at the design. This might be like one of those ornate christening spoons or something. I want to be sure not to break it. I'm going to dig around it. Do not want to break this. Just going to do that, pop it to kind of loosen the dirt. Oh man. Oh, it's a little fork. Unbelievable. It's sterling silver. And it's intact. Oh wow, that's amazing. I can't believe it's completely intact. Wow. that was definitely worth the wait. Just because of the odd shape of it, it was just a big thunky, like 59, 60 tone, like just a notch above a nickel. Sweet, that's gonna look so pretty cleaned up. Just dug another weird mid-tone, and I just got a 2-hole US Navy button. Nice. It's about 5:30, I'm running out of daylight. Man, that was a blast. I am completely spent. About 5.5 hours at least of just straight digging. Barely took more than a few minutes break a couple times. But there's a pile of most of the better stuff. That's the 10 silver coins, the silver fork, the watch, some of the buttons and all kinds of stuff. This I stopped adding to that little can of coins. I didn't empty my pouch for the last hour. There's another pile of coins and some interesting stuff in there. I have that spill set aside with the buffalo nickel and the 5 wheats to check the dates on them, as I'm kind of curious, so I wanted to keep them separate. So it was an amazing haul, and I'm definitely not going to get this video posted and have these all cleaned up. So what I'll do is I'm going to split this and we'll do a separate video of the wrap up. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this amazing video. And just goes to show you, it's out there. You just got to go searching. There's treasure out there to be found. So keep hunting and take care. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the video. It is time once again to seat myself upon the coin throne. So here's an overview of the amazing permission that I hunted. And before I get to all of that, this is a look at the majority of the trash that was dug. Pretty hefty sized portion of trash as always. Now this was definitely a once in a lifetime permission, and as far as I could see from looking at previous footage, I looked at the pictures I took from when me and Rusty hunted this place, and from my best estimates it seems like we dug around 100 coins, possibly a little bit more. So along with the totals from the other day, when I hunted the property again, which I found 142 coins, we'll say roughly about 250 coins have come out of this very small lawn. When I say small, I mean it's not like a rural big acre property. I mean this is just your average size residential lawn. Maybe the front yard's maybe about 8 by 5 yards, and the back is about the same. It's not that big. The interesting part of the story of this property, which is why I would really love to find out who used to live there or the history behind this place, is that the majority of the coins, 95% plus of the coins, date from 1967 and older. And it's just all of a sudden when you get up to 1967, the finds almost just completely stop, except for a few stray modern coins that were on the property. So I'm not sure if these people had a ton of kids and they grew up and they moved away, and that's why there's this many coins in the yard. I don't know if they purposely threw them in the yard. I don't know if they held events there. I really don't know why all of these coins were there. It's possible the family could have moved out of there in around 1967. That is also a possibility. As far as the research goes on the house, the best I can come up with is that it was built in the early 1940s. And I believe from how I have the finds categorized that the same family had lived there from the time the house was built until 1967. That's just my guess. It's definitely speculative, but you'll see here why I believe that. So this is the finds from the last time I hunted the property. This does not include the finds from when I hunted this property with Rusty last year, but I will probably insert some pictures at the end of the video just to show some of it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and break into this. I have the coins sorted by date, and I will get to the relics toward the end. So the oldest coin off that property is the only coin that's dateless. It's a really slick toasted wheat penny. It's probably from the teens. These were obviously still circulating into the 40s and 50s. But that's most likely the oldest coin, a slick wheat penny. And also, I want to point out before I get to everything else that the soil in this yard is extremely mineralized. So apart from the silvers, most of the coins are not in very good condition. Even some of the early memorial pennies are already bubbled up. So definitely rough soil in this yard. But I did find one buffalo nickel, and this one was in the hole with 5 wheat pennies. You can see that little green corrosion spot, and that's where it was stuck to a penny, and it was actually this penny here, 1947D, that it was stuck to. You can see where the same bluish green color is there. But the wheat penny's in that spill with this buffalo nickel, which is a partial date, but I believe it's a 1926. The wheat pennies in the hole with that were really weird. There was one from the 30s, like 2 from the 40s and 1 from the 50s. It was really a big span of years for one coin spill, so it was quite interesting. So moving on, the oldest silver was this 1929 Mercury Dime, which unfortunately that's the only silver coin I hit with a shovel, and it was the oldest one. But it was in the hole with an old nickel, so I mean there was just so much stuff in these holes that, you know, you'd just be digging and randomly find stuff. So that was that, the 3 oldest coins there. Then it goes right over to 2 pennies from 1935. We have 1 wheat penny from 1936. This next row is all wheat pennies from 1937. And all these coins, I just cleaned them up enough to see the date. I'm not going to bother cleaning every single penny off. So that was that. Then we have 1 penny from 1939. Didn't get any coins from 1938. Moving on, this was the only coin I found in the yard. Well, I almost called it foreign, but it's from the Philippines. But, you know, I guess foreign to me, not something I'm used to finding. But you can tell from how shiny it is that this was probably polished. As you can see, the hole there was worn as a pendant. That's not the natural luster of the coin. This was definitely polished. But it's a 1 centavo from the Philippines, and the hole's kind of right through the date. I believe that is 1940. So that was a pretty cool find. And then I got 3 wheat pennies from 1940. Moving on to the 1941 coins, there's 3 pennies, 1 1941 nickel, and 2 1941 silver Mercury dimes. Very pleased to have those. And the majority of these coins are from the Philadelphia and Denver Mint. I only found 1 coin from the San Francisco Mint, which is pretty common around here. Almost everything we find is Philadelphia and Denver Mint. So moving over to the 1942 coins, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wheat pennies and a 1942 silver Mercury dime. The only coin from 1943 is a 35% silver war nickel. And actually, I thought that one was a P, but it's kind of under the corrosion there. That looks like that actually might be an S mint mark. I'll have to look at it later. Now the reason there's only one of the reasons there's only 1 coin from 1943 is the wheat pennies from 1943 were made out of steel, which is something I discriminate out. I didn't find any in the spills, but I could almost guarantee you if I went back there and hunted all the iron out of this spot that I would find a crusty 1943 steel penny. I'm sure there's one down there. Moving over to 1944, which was a high mintage year for all the coins, but we got 3 wheat pennies from 1944, 1944 war nickel, which is a Denver Mint mark, I know, and then we did get a 1944 Mercury dime. Very nice detail on that one. Over to 1945, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wheat pennies and a 1945 war nickel, which kind of has an old scratch through the date, which makes it hard to see. But it is a 1945. You can see the P mint mark above the Monticello on the back. Over to 1946, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 wheat pennies, and the first year of the silver Roosevelt dimes. Moving over to 1947, we have 2 wheat pennies, both Denver, and a 1947 Jefferson nickel. Only 1 penny from 1948. And for 1949, the only coin is a Jefferson nickel. And for the 1946s, that was one of the only coins that's an S mint, or 1945, excuse me. It was a 1945 S wheat penny. So now into the 50s. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 wheat pennies from 1950 to 1951. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 1951 Jefferson nickel. 1952, we have 3 wheat pennies and a silver Roosevelt dime. Over to 1953, there's 6 wheat pennies. Now, no coins from 1954 that I found this time, but I know I used it as one of the thumbnails when I hunted that with Rusty. I know he found a 1954 silver quarter. And I'll briefly jump over here to show these play coins, because I said in the video that some of these are normally dated, and this one here is actually dated 1954. You can see it says Uncle Sam Play Dime. It's pretty cool. These are usually, I believe, dated 1953 or 54. And then the other one, I don't think I found one of these yet. It's actually quite funny. It's got a picture of a chicken on it, and it says chicken feed. And it says on the back, 1 penny. It's pretty funny. I like that. And I didn't count those in the totals because they're not real. So then for 1955, we have 4 wheat pennies. All are Denver mint, which is a really high mintage one, the 55 Denver. To 1956, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 wheat pennies from 1956. And then we also have a 1956 Jefferson nickel. To 1957, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wheat pennies and a 57 Jefferson. Only 1 coin from 1958, which is a penny. And then over to the one that I seem to find a lot of, the first year of the memorials, 1959. Give you a shot of them. You can see how corroded even just the memorials are. Really rough soil there, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pennies from 1959. And then we have 2 1959 nickels. Over into the 60s, we got 3 pennies. 61, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1961 pennies. 2 nickels, 1961. For 1962, we have 4 memorial pennies. For 63, we have 2 of them. And then for 1964, which is a high mintage year for all coins, once again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pennies and 3 nickels. No coins from 1965, which is a little bit lower mintage of a year, probably because they made so many darn coins in 1964. And then for 66, we got 1 penny and 1 nickel. And then over to 1967, we have 5 pennies. And I know that I said, and when I first hunted it with Rusty, I remember when we were digging everything out, I remember even mentioning not finding any coins that dated newer than 1966 at the time, once we were already there for a while. So there were probably kids all over this lawn back in the day. Flip my plug. I just got a plastic monkey, which was deeper than whatever this is. Haven't dug a single coin newer than 1966. That's a wheat cent in the hole with a plastic monkey. The finds we found in the past tell the exact same story of my hunt there this time. But then for the coins that are more modern than 1967, there's just a few of them. 1972 nickel, 77 penny, 85 dime. These 2 coins were in the same hole. It's a 1994 zinc penny and a 1991 quarter. And then a 2014 dime that was probably just kicked off the road. It was like literally under a little bit of grass that had grown over the asphalt. So that's a look at the coins. I just couldn't believe how many there were. It took me about 5 hours to dig all this out, but it was definitely a blast. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting into the relics and other items. I found this, still not sure what it is yet. Not sure if that needs cracked open or not, but I don't think it's some sort of container. Could have been some kind of wheel or something, I really have no idea. But I'm sure somebody will let me know on that. I got one of the old style screw fuses. I just thought it was cool to show. It's a 30 amp. This, I'm not sure what it was. I believe I've dug one of these before, but I can't remember what it is. It says Webster Chicago Corporation, patent applied for. It's a neat piece. Got a few buttons from the yard. I'm assuming everything pretty much dates between the 40s and the 60s, you know, given the coins. But some of these are real funky signals because they have, like, a lot of them have iron backs, but that one's aluminum on the front. Really like that one. Little castle with like an axe and a sword. It says Royce, New York. Pretty plain button there. Another just weird one. And a 2-hole navy button that still has some of the gold on it. So I like that one. Some other odd bits. I found this. Just kind of weird piece. Not sure what it is. It says patented on it. PRYM. Not sure what those were used for. This piece, I'm not sure what it is. I haven't looked it up yet. I know I've seen them before, but we're going to call that the bra for a robot. I got 2 old keys, a Yale key, and this one, Briggs & Stratton, American Motors Corporation. I'm assuming that's an old car key. This here, I'm not sure what it is, but it almost looks like some sort of toy catapult. I'm probably completely wrong, but you know, you have these little things on the side there, almost like it would set in something, and you'd think it would flip up like that and throw things. Who knows? If you know what it is, let me know. I'm just going to call it a toy catapult. Got a crushed up lipstick tube that has some verbiage on it, and it's pretty ornate design on it, but it's smashed up pretty good. I would really bend that up if I was trying to straighten it up. It would probably break. I found this little piece, which I'm not sure what that came off of. This tag that says, it's kind of weird in cursive. I'm assuming that was an S. I'm not sure. It would make sense that says Sylvia for me, but that first letter might be something different. So that was cool. We got a little live round. And then this is quite funny. I found this old tool in the yard, and it is a Craftsman. So I may be able to send that back in because it's under lifetime warranty. Maybe they'll send me a new one. That would make a funny video if I tried to do that. And then I found an aluminum butter knife, which was pretty weird. I don't think I've ever found an aluminum one before. And then some of the really cool stuff. I got this vintage ladies watch, which is rolled gold. I tested the base metal. It's not sterling silver, so it's probably pewter or something. I'm not sure what they made the base metal out of, the ones that weren't silver. But really fancy. It's a really awesome find. And let's see what time it stopped at. I think both the hands are right there, so stopped right around about 2:10, 2:12, something like that. You can see it's marked in the back, 10K rolled gold Bulova plate. And then probably my favorite find from that entire lawn was this beautiful sterling silver fork. Just absolutely unbelievable. Love the design on that. And it's community silver. So that was an absolutely amazing hunt. I picked over the yard really good, but there was just so much stuff there. I'm sure there's definitely some more targets that I had missed, real faint ones. I even dug some of the sketchy tones and iron and even stuff like that, trying to clear up other targets. But I'll definitely go back someday, give it a little bit of a rest, and we'll see if we can pull out more from this amazing location. So thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Get out there and find some treasure. It's out there.